are y'all doing today? Thank you so much for tuning in to Talk of the Town here on WDBX 91.1 Community Radio for Carbondale, Southern Illinois, and the world. Yes, Monday morning, and it is Memorial Day. I'd like to take a moment to send our gratitude on behalf of the City of Carbondale to all of the soldiers being memorialized on this day for, paying the ultimate sacrifice. We are indebted to you, and our gratitude goes out to you. As we speak, there is a lovely annual Memorial Day service happening down at Woodlawn Cemetery, which is known as the home of the first Memorial Day service here in Southern Illinois, ordered by General John A. Logan. So we hold a lot of pride in getting to carry that history, and we carry that history on today and know that we will continue to carry on the memories. So thank you so much for everyone involved in that, and really our utmost gratitude. We hope that everyone is getting to enjoy their day today and relax a little bit on this lovely, lovely Monday here in Southern Illinois. I have some wonderful guests with me today I'm so excited to introduce you to. Before I do, I want to tell you about something really exciting coming to Southern Illinois this weekend. If you haven't seen it on our Facebook page yet, we have shared the news that Jack's Mass Transit, one of our bus services here in Southern Illinois, is offering the SOAR access route. This is the Southern Outdoor Access Route. So this is going to be a new bus route that is going to be able to take our community to explore the Shawnee and beyond. So this is huge. This is really pivotal. We have so much beautiful natural surroundings here on the outskirts of Carbondale. But haven't always had ways to make sure everyone can access this. So this route is going to kick off this coming weekend, May 31st. There are going to be pickups at our new SIMS, that's the Southern Illinois Multimodal Station downtown, pickups over at Evergreen and the SIU Rec Center. Is going to take folks out to Giant City Park, Poplar Camp Beach out at Cedar Lake, which just opened this past weekend. It will take people to the Makanda Boardwalk, to a few different trails at Giant City Park, and a few other awesome spots. So find more info about this at ridejax.com. That's RIDEJAX.com. So you can see that full route, all the details, and it's the regular bus fee. So this is just, really huge. We're so excited for what this is going to bring to our Southern Illinois community and beyond. And Splash Park is also open. All the ways to, have some fun in the sun have really kicked off. So we're just excited for everyone to, soak in the summer. I'm just saying it's summer. It's here. It's Memorial Day. It's summertime in Southern Illinois. So hope you guys can all take advantage of that. All right, y'all. So now I want to introduce you to my guest I have in the studio with me. I have Hank and Deanna Deiters. Oh, see, I knew. They told me, they're like, hey, you think it's going to be pronounced this way, and it's the other way. All right, Deiters. Hank and Deanna Deiters, good morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, you two. So I brought you in today because, yes, it's Memorial Day, but you are bringing something really amazing to our arts and entertainment scene, and that is a new musical about our veterans. You have an amazing organization you've co-founded, Vets in the Arts, and are producing a new musical that will be at the Marion Civic Center June 6th through 8th called Standard Issue. This is a Southern Illinois original musical, and we don't have a lot of those. So I wanted to bring you in. I know normally on this program you hear me talk about events solely more in Carbondale, but we've been doing so much work with outside communities, and I think it's important that we weave together this big, beautiful Southern Illinois tapestry that we all get to, take pleasure in. So yes, let's talk about Standard Issue, you two. So do you guys want to tell me a little bit more about yourselves, a little bit more about Vets in the Arts, and how this musical came to be?
Want me to start?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, so around the time COVID hit, prior to COVID, we were involved in local theater mostly children's theater because our kids were involved in some children's musical theater over in the Marion area. And we naturally participated as volunteers, working backstage, helping build sets, helping move sets, do all those behind the scenes types of things. When COVID kicked off, it took all that away from our kids, and then it took that, we didn't know something that was kind of important to us, participating in the theater arts.
Yeah.
We kind of had a hole there, and so we said, well, it's a good time for us to start using our own creative forces and start putting a story together. And I did 20 years in the Army. I'm a retired Army officer. I did my years enlisted, so I know a lot about the military, so it was a very easy backdrop for us to decide where we're going to write this story about.
Amazing.
So in 2020, a little seed was planted. We
Uh-huh.
just said, hey, let's write a musical. And then we said, well, how about the theme? And so we decided it was going to be a modern military themed
Cool.
musical. And, you know, how you may just talk about doing something, but this one really set the hook. I mean, it
Yeah.
really started to develop, and that's where we spent our time together when we would, you know, instead of watching Netflix or something, we would sit down and start writing the script. And after a while, we knew that, especially with Hank, he realized that a lot of veterans were not in the arts and the performing arts space, and that really meant a lot to him. And whenever COVID happened, that it was taken away. And he said, you know, why aren't more veterans, you know, in this space?
Sure.
And so that melded with, you know, what we were doing with this musical, and then we decided to make a bigger mission with Vets in the Arts.
Awesome.
And also that would help us channel funds into funding this project, but it will, and then all of the proceeds, ticket sales, anything, they're either going to our cast or they'll be going back to Vets in the Arts, and that will be
Amazing.
funding veterans projects in the arts in the future.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, even through this current project, we can see that we have veterans involved in this first time in theater veterans involved in this production. And we can see that definitely, while a lot of them can sing, a lot of them could use help learning how to sing with a group, doing harmonies and all those kind of things. So already we see things that we can do as a nonprofit to start helping area veterans develop those skills so they can continue their journey in the theater arts and other artistic avenues as well.
That is just so fantastic. I am, you know, our listeners can't see me, but I'm just smiling so big because I'm a theater nerd. That's my background, and I, you know, see what it does for people and what it does for communities, and what a healing process it can be individually. How one can find a lot of truth and express a lot of things that they may struggle with otherwise. So I can only imagine what this process is doing for these vets. That's incredible.
Yeah, we see through the rehearsal process, we see lots of laughter. We see them having lots of fun. We see them doing the things after rehearsals are done where they're hanging out with the other actors, other characters, and they're just having fun chatting about the show, about the practice, about what the future holds for them.
I love that.
There's so much joy in these rehearsals. It's pretty amazing to watch.
And
That's
we
incredible.
already have one, well, he's not a veteran, he's still in the National Guard. I mean, he's still serving.
Sure.
He auditioned for our show, and he's already auditioned for another show, and so it's just opening the door to this community. And
Yeah.
it's kind of scary to get in because a lot of people, it's just everybody knows everybody, and if you're
Sure.
the new person coming in, that takes a lot of guts. So this was just a way for him to take one step towards performing arts, and now he's off and running. So
That's so
we're happy for him.
fantastic. Wow, y'all, you guys are truly breaking down barriers because, like, you know, sometimes there can be some stigma around theater and that it's for some people and not for others. So to open up that door and be like, hey, this can be for you too. And like, how awesome to say, like, hey, it can be intimidating. You know, you think of vets or people currently serving in the military as some of the toughest. So for that to be able to be recognized as a vulnerable, intimidating thing, but that, you know, anything new is something brave,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
And as writers, we specifically wrote it for the opportunity that first-time performers can be in the show. If you can
Yeah.
march, you can be in the show. Like the choreography and all of
Yeah.
that is very easy for a veteran to come in and relate to. And so that was really one of the goals whenever
Amazing.
we were writing it all along.
That's so cool. So is this the first production you are producing through this Vets in the Arts organization?
Yes, it is, and it's a big one. It's a big project. If you've never put on a full production, it's a big process, and it's a lot of moving parts. And like I said earlier, we're 2 weeks from showtime, and it's crunch time for us. So yeah, our time is pretty full right now, trying to get everything ready for the show. So we took an audacious one on first, so hopefully future ones won't be quite so bad.
Yeah.
But we already know future projects for Vets in the Arts. We already know we're seeing some places where we can help veterans start expressing themselves through the arts. And I don't have a preference what people want to go into, if it's painting or poetry, if it's writing their stories down, or if it's acting them on a stage. Any of those types of artistic media, we're going to be supportive of that for future veterans.
Super cool. For our listeners, could you give a bit of a synopsis of Standard Issue? We know it's a military themed musical, but what can we kind of expect storyline here?
So our main character is named Charles Vanderwall, and he's very reluctant to go into the Army, and he has to do it for certain reasons, and that'll be come to the show and you find out. But anyway, he goes into he's enlisted, so he has his first tour of duty, and through that first tour of duty, he meets all these different people from all different walks of life, and they form a brotherhood. And then in intermission, they are deployed. And so we don't show deployment, but in Act 2, we see the fallout from deployment and the things that have happened during deployment, and so what they have to deal with. And so this is a 3-year journey for them and for him, and he has some core beliefs that he thinks that he doesn't get to choose a lot of what's happening to him, and kind of circumstances are making his way. I mean, he lost parents and now he's deployed, and things that happen on deployment, and so he has to choose for himself how he's going to react after deployment. And we do say that this is probably a 13 and up show, just because there's mental health struggles in the second act.
Sure.
That you know your own kid, if they could handle watching things like that and talking about things like that. But it does open conversations, and we're hoping that non-veteran audience members will get a glimpse into how deep the brotherhood goes and how it's formed, and then also struggles that they have after a deployment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and did we mention there's 16 original songs that Deanna wrote? They're amazing songs, wonderful songs. If you get on YouTube, you can hear bits and pieces of some of the songs.
Okay, cool.
And if you follow us on social media, they're wonderful songs. So if you're a music fan, this will have something for you. But if you're a fan of good stories, this one really is a wonderful story. It's fun and exciting. The first act is building those bonds, and the second act is an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. If you are just tuning in, I'm talking to Hank and Deanna Deiters. They are the co-founders of Vets in the Arts and the co-writers and producers of Standard Issue, a new musical being produced through this organization. So we were just talking about the music that you wrote, Deanna. I would love to hear more about this, because you were saying this is the first musical you all have written together. So have you written music before, or is this brand new endeavor as well?
Brand new. Just jump in with both feet.
Yes.
I mean, like I said, it's been a 5-year process.
Sure.
And our first script, it's kind of resembles what this is now. I mean, we showed it to some trusted people, and they gave us feedback, and that went back and forth, and we learned and learned and learned. Same with music. I mean, it really was, this has been a 5-year journey, so there's a lot you can learn in 5 years. I play piano and stuff, as a kid, and so I had some of that music theory, but really, I start with lyrics. I don't start with melody. Okay. So telling story through music, it all starts with the lyrics for me, and then I would come in with the music. So.
Yeah.
And I was no help on the music. I don't have those talents.
You're an encourager.
Wow. Yeah, but I can help with telling the military themes and the military story because of my military past. So when she would ask, what would a soldier say in this situation?
Yeah.
I would have an answer, and I'd have it pretty quickly.
Absolutely,
I'd
that's
probably
awesome.
been through that scenario.
Yeah, and if you helped with the script, that influences the songs as well. Mm-hmm. So I think you probably helped more than you realized. This is so phenomenal. Hey, I want to point out, just to connect to these little regional puzzle pieces for everyone, you have an amazingly talented daughter she's in this production. Yes,
Yes.
fantastic. Maddie, and if y'all have seen the amazing mural over at our Carbondale Public Library, that was painted by your daughter, Maddie.
She's also done the one on the Irma Hayes Community Center.
And she did the live one during the Eclipse Festival he had here. She did a
Yeah.
live mural during that time as well.
Oh, I love it. There's truly such an amazingly deep, rich, creative pool here in Southern Illinois, and I love the our creatives here seem to dabble in so many different things and all collaborate through all these cities, through all these little towns. It's just so cool to get to see that landscape and be able to connect those pieces. I was so excited. I work with Bryce Dion at the City of Carbondale, and I believe he's helping build the sets for this production. Yes.
Yeah, big shout out to Bryce if he's listening out there. Yeah, he's a phenomenal, highly talented builder. And he's a Navy veteran, and when I asked him to help out with this show, he was 100% all in from the beginning.
Yeah.
And super hard worker. And every time I work with him, I learn something new, some new building technique. He's got tools and tricks that I don't know if there's a bottom to the well of knowledge he has. So we are very blessed to have him as a part of this production for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. He's an awesome guy. We're also lucky to have him at City of Carbondale, and he was telling me all about this production, and I was like, oh, well, I have to talk to them more about this. And he cued me in that your daughter is Maddie, who's done this beautiful artwork for us here in Carbondale. How fantastic. All right, so this production is June 6th through 8th at the Marion Cultural and Civic Center. There's a few evening performances on the 6th and the 7th at 7 p.m. and a matinee on June 8th at 2 p.m. You can get your tickets ahead of time at marionccc.com, or you can call the Marion Cultural and Civic Center box office at 618-997-4030, or I'm sure you'll be able to go up and get your tickets there at the box office. Looks like you guys have a Facebook for this production at Standard Issue the Musical, and an Instagram at Standard Issue the Musical. So let's show our friends here some love on their social media. Follow along, get some little sneak peeks of the story, and get engaged with this production. I know I was telling my family about this, and they're super excited. We'll probably be making the matinee performance. Awesome, y'all. We got about 10 minutes left of our show. So what do you want listeners to know about this production, or something more of this process we haven't covered that you might like to share about?
Well, it's been an amazing journey for us because, like I said, we normally work backstage, starting with the dressing rooms with the kids to help them with their quick changes, progressing to set building, and moving set pieces around and doing all those things. But now we've had to, as we've gone along, delve into the marketing side of it and the social media side of it. We have Instagram, which we're a little bit older than most Instagram people, so we've had to learn that. Luckily, we have some talented young man that's helping us with the social media side of it.
Cool.
As we can learn those things, it just takes us a little longer.
Yeah, sure.
But that's fun. That's been new and fun. Doing things like media hits like this and being a part of that process. We have some other things coming up that are completely foreign to us. This is not what we do. I personally am a physical therapist. I don't do anything. I don't have a background in this at all. But I've had to learn a lot about storytelling, about writing, about communicating, and it's been an amazing process. And what I look forward to, I hope that audience members, when they leave, if they're a veteran, I hope they turn to someone next to them later and say, even if it's, well, that's not how it goes, this is how it really goes. At least they're sharing a story from their past.
Yeah.
Or maybe it will remind them of a story, someone they went to boot camp with, someone they served with, whether they're here today or not. Someone, something from their past. Because if they don't share their stories, good, bad, or indifferent, those stories go away when their time here ends. And so I really want people to share those stories. Yeah. So that's what I hope I hope family members get out of this, or friends of veterans get out of this, that there is a brotherhood that is formed, and they get an idea of how that's formed and why those bonds are so strong.
Yeah.
I get along with any veteran I meet immediately, and I didn't have to serve with them. I didn't have to go to combat with them. We just have a brotherhood that's so strong. It's immediate, and it's a strong bond. So I hope people understand how we get there through a tour duty.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's gonna be really impactful
I think for me, one of the things about coming out to see this show, you're going to see a great show. It's fantastic sets. I mean, we've poured 5 years, and so many grants have been granted to make this happen, and local business sponsors. But one of the things I want people to take away is that people can do something big like this, right? Anybody can do it, and I really mean anybody. I mean, all you need is to keep at it and learn from other collaborators. I mean, we did not do this in a vacuum. I mean, we had so many people. We just reached out, and we didn't have an ego about it. I mean, they would be brutal, and we would come back and have to scrap. I mean, there's so many songs that got orchestrated, and then we had to cut them because the story wasn't where it needed to be. It wasn't compelling enough, and so when the story changes, the music changes, and the music had to go away, and that's okay. I mean, we just wrote new ones that went with it. But I just want people to know that here in Southern Illinois, you can do big things, and you can do fantastic things, and you don't have to go to LA or New York or wherever. Right here, there's so many talented people that if you just reach out, there's so many people that want to help too. And so I just thank everybody that's been involved. This is truly a Southern Illinois collaboration. We have people from Norris City, we have people from Carbondale, Carterville, Heron, all over the place that are in the show, that have been helping with the show, and we just hope that all of Southern Illinois comes out to see it and just thinks, you know what, that project that's in the back of my mind, I can do that. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't happen this year or next year or the year after. Like 5-10 years down the road, you'll be happy you did it. And just keep stepping, take one step forward, and then reach out to other people because they really want to help.
That's amazing. How inspiring. And yes, bloom where you're planted,
Yeah, and through that process, some of my favorite songs got cut. She was ruthless because she saw the bigger vision, and so she would cut my favorites. And we still have those places, and maybe someday they'll make the B-side of a record or something. But they're still fun songs. They still tell part of the military story. They're in the military theme. But unfortunately, they didn't make the final show.
So another thing, we also received a grant from the Illinois Arts Council to do a full studio recording of all the songs after the show. So we'll be doing that the week after the show with all of the actors that you'll be seeing on stage, and then we'll release them Spotify, and then you can listen to them whenever you want.
I can't wait. The original cast recording. That's going to be so exciting. Yeah, well, what an honor. I'm just so grateful that y'all did stick to this and put in the time and the work. And really, this is such an inspiring story. I mean, I don't even know the musical yet. Just you guys getting this musical on its feet is such an inspiration in and of itself. I love it. We have a few minutes left. I'd love to ask just what does it mean to you to make this kind of contribution to the Southern Illinois arts scene?
Well, it's done a lot for our family, this scene down here, because watching what our kids have experienced and how they've grown specifically through theater, but also through choirs and through things like that. We've watched our kids grow, and socially and with their skills, and it's done so much for our kids and for our family. That just brings joy to us to watch our kids grow like that. And so we want to give back, and we hope we contribute to this scene down here. We hope we contribute something to the longevity of the arts here in Southern Illinois. Something that people can experience now, but something people can look back and reflect on, and show have some pride in what's happened here in little old Southern Illinois.
Amazing. Deanna, what about for you? Kind of same question there.
I think whenever I grew up, we didn't have servicemen in our family, so I wasn't connected in a way that Hank's family is, because he has a lot of veterans in his family. And then of course when I met him, I didn't really understand what it meant until I was a wife of an active duty soldier. And then also, I mean, Maddie was born, he was in Iraq, he was deployed. And so there's just this history that if you're not personally connected with a veteran, that maybe you just don't have that deep sense respect. I mean, you can respect, but it's different whenever you know somebody.
Sure.
And so that is also something through this musical that just might give people who don't have that personal connection just a little bit of an insight, a little bit more into what family members go through whenever they have someone who serves, and just be able to, and then like Hank said, the veterans will share their stories, maybe even more with their family, and then they can connect more. It's all about connection, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, I think you're connecting a lot of things here in a really big, exciting way. So just super grateful for you too. All right, y'all, again, I've been talking to Hank and Deanna here, the co-writers of Standard Issue, a new musical running June 6th through 8th at the Marion Cultural and Civic Center. Get your tickets. This is going to be really special. And again, like Deanna just stated, even if you don't have a prior connection to a veteran in your life, what a wonderful way to get some insight into this world. And if you do have that connection, what a wonderful way to connect with your community and share these stories further. So really hope that y'all can get out to this one. This is going to be really cool. I'm so grateful to have you two on today. Thank you so much.
So on the back of that flyer, you'll see the quote at the top.
Oh, wonderful. I'm going to read it to you here. Everyone has a story. That includes you.
Right. That kind of runs through the musical, that some people might think their story isn't that amazing, but it is.
Oh,
it
how
truly
fantastic. Well, thank you guys so much for working so hard for so long to put this story together.
Thank you very much for having us.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for tuning in once again to Talk of the Town here on WDBX 91.1. We hope that you all enjoy this beautiful Memorial Day. Get out there, stay safe, take care of each other. Check out that Jack's Mass Transit SOAR Southern Outdoor Access Route this weekend. And we will catch you next week here, same place, same time. Have a good one, Carbondale.